Good morning, everybody, again. So, the IAB strategic theme for June is social and environmental impact, which focuses on the importance of ESG in our industry. The IAB work with the ORB, the Organisation for Responsible Business, which educates small business in ESG and help them set their goals. There is also the Eco-Friendly Web Alliance, which is the first easy step in making a positive impact on the carbon footprint by lowering the emissions on our website and provides a certificate once achieved. Governments and regulatory bodies worldwide are increasingly mandating ESG disclosures. The UK, for instance, has introduced regulations requiring companies to report on their environmental impact, ensuring greater transparency and accountability. Financial institutions are increasingly recognising climate risk as a significant factor in their decision-making processes. The Bank of England has highlighted the potential financial risk posed by climate change, urging banks to incorporate these considerations into their risk assessments. The rise of ESG has also influenced educational programmes. Many universities and business schools in the UK now offer specialised courses in sustainable finance, preparing the next generation of finance professionals to navigate and lead in this evolving topic. ESG is a key point in the IAB manifesto that was launched last week. And I think Sam is going to expand on that, aren't you, Sam?
Yeah, just a little bit. We shared our manifesto in the spirit of the election and alongside all the other political parties last week, basically just to demonstrate what we felt as an organisation and on your behalf in terms of the finance sector, what we would want a new government to do, basically. So I do really encourage you all to have a read of it because it really encapsulates kind of where we're going in terms of our future vision and these strategic themes. But in line with what Caroline was saying in terms of ESG, we are calling for more emphasis on ESG in the finance sector. So in COP27, it was announced that international reporting standards will become mandatory across the globe. So it requires companies to report their ESG data in a united format. And obviously, a lot of this is falling to the finance sector. And arguably, as a country, the UK is lagging behind in terms of educating people within the finance sector of what these requirements are. So we think it's really, really important that the UK government starts being part and leading this conversation to people within our community, especially. So, we do have a qualification, the IFRS, which is International Financial Reporting Standards, which sits at level 4. So, but again, very well worth a look. And as part of the manifesto, we'll be expanding on what these requirements are. But it was really just to bring it to the forefront because it really is an area of what you guys within your profession will be required to do further down the line. So it was just to bring it to your attention.
Excellent, thank you. Right, I'm going to very swiftly move on to Philip Chapman, who's from Croner-i. We're excited to announce that Phil Chapman, Head of Partnership at Croner-i, will be joining us this coffee morning. Phil will introduce a new package designed specifically for IAB members, featuring CBD content, a helpline, webinars and more. This partnership with Croner-i aims to provide comprehensive support and resources, ensuring that you stay ahead in the evolving landscape of ethical and sustainable finance. Right, Phil. To ensure we keep to time, I'm going to give you a 15-minute time check, and that'll let you know that you've got 5 minutes left. So
no worries.
Over to you.
Thank you very much. Well, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us. Nearly a couple of hundred people, and I was just thinking the last time I had this many people in front of me, I was doing a choir song on my own in front of this many people. I assure you things have changed since then in terms of my voice and everything, and I'm not going to sing today, so don't worry. But what I'm here to talk about as the Head of Partnerships is basically the content that we provide, that we offer to the IAB, whether it be the paid for stuff, the free light content, and a especially design package that we put together recently. And also from a sustainability perspective, it's good timing because we released a new sustainability product last week as well, which I'll give you an overview of. So at the end of this, what I'll do is I'll post a little link in the chat. Anybody who wants to get a call from my team just to set themselves up with Light, take you through in a bit more detail how it works and can answer some questions, then please do that. Also, there's a couple of free things we'll be giving away from the premium content, a checklist and a calculator as well. So we'll come on to that in a minute. So Yeah, for those who don't know, we've had a partnership with the IAB for a number of years now, but I came on board, having been with Croner-i for 7 years, to kind of revamp things a little bit and do things that, putting the members first, effectively, finding out exactly what you need access to and producing some stuff around it. So that's what we'll go through today. So I'm going to share my screen first of all. I don't normally use Zoom. So, it says sharing's not turned on. I think you need to enable me to share.
I've just turned it on now.
Okay.
Sorry, my mistake.
No, you're fine. I'll go entire screen. There we go. Not very good with technology. I have an 18-year-old son who does it all for me. So,
well, we can see your screen, so that's good.
Lovely. Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the platform. Then I'll talk about what the different levels of packages. So what you get for free, the new IAB package we've created, and then everything else as well. So this is my login here to the library. So all of these boxes here is everything that we do. And obviously the packages that we've got are designed for kind of sole practitioners, bookkeepers. So don't worry if there's like loads of stuff on here. You think, okay, look, not all that stuff relevant to me. I'm just showing you everything. And we'll go through those packages at the end. So first of all, top right here, there's a helpline that we provide that as an IAB member, you get free calls to for tax queries for up to 15 minutes. Again, if any of this stuff's of interest, log your details on the link to register at the end of this, and I'm sure Suji will send it out as well, and we'll take you through all the details, the code that you've got to give to ensure that you can get the advice that you need, etc. as well. So that's top right there, just to let you know that's what the helpline is. So the first thing I'll show you in these boxes, which we'll go through one by one, is kind of the keeping up to date stuff. And again, some of this stuff comes as free in the light. We'll come on to that at the end. So first of all, you've got the news and the learning. So the news is like the stuff in the written word, and the learning kind of your CPD visual stuff. All of this stuff is CPD accredited, and whether it be a certificate, if you've done a webinar, whether it be a tracking tool that we've got. So whenever you read something, you click a little clock and it puts it in a tracking tool for you. So that all contributes towards your CPD, if you will. So I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, other than to say we provide a couple of webinars in the written word every week, an audit and accounting one, which again, it's quite topical. I didn't deliberately do this. It's just I pulled up the latest one. It talks about unraveling the complex abilities of sustainability reporting. So what this does is just, we have a team of people internally, 30 odd in total, that used to be in practice in industry or whatever, that have expertise in their respective areas. We also lean on external experts as well. And they just produce this update for audit and accounting. Obviously, look, I'm sure you guys don't do audit, but from an accounting perspective, they'll produce articles with whatever's happening, latest Q&As, learning courses, updates from our team, legislation and standards, etc. as well, filing and consultation dates. So that's everything from an audit and accounting perspective. And then we also have the equivalent for tax as well, which will, again, written by our in-house team and external experts as well. We'll give you highlights of the week, so you know that you can read this, keep up to date with everything that's going on. So it will sweep up all the legislative case highlights, stuff from the HMRC, and then other news that could be anything from any bodies, including the IAB and others as well. Comment pieces from our team. There's obviously this one around AI, because that's a big thing at the moment. Then you'll get a few articles with kind of VAT or whatever we deem to be topical that particular week, effectively, as you can see. So, if you click on any of these things here, we'll go through to our platform, to that particular article, and then you will get links out to further reading should you need it, and back to the legislation, etc. as well. So that is, I'm skipping here a little bit. Let's go down a bit. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So you'll also get some Q&As as well, and links to our learning courses, which kind of gives me a nice little segue into the learning section. So this is, we have a database of webinars, 16 in total across audit and accounting and tax. One is a monthly roundup that we have. Each of them, as you can see, has a learning record. So you have a learning record which stores all your certificates and everything. And they cover every single area here. So tax, audit and accounting. So you can come into accounting here and look at all the courses under that. Under UK GAAP, for example, I imagine that's the thing you'll be doing most. So this is what we do here, is we provide a full range of everything that you need, both technical stuff around 102, 105, etc. But also we provide overview courses to give you like if you're starting something new for the first time, you just want a 10-minute overview. we give you that in what we call our essentials range as well. So you've got the insight, which is, say, 16 courses per month, including roundups, and then the essentials, which is the introductory or overview, if you will, to kind of get you started on an area that you've not done before. So you've got a whole host there. We do provide a free webinar as part of your light package for free. Again, I'm just kind of skimming over this because of time, but you know, if you want to find out more, as I said, do register, and we'll give you a bit more time going through the specifics and what's particularly pertinent to you. So that's the keeping up to date bit, the learning and the news. What we also do, aside from this on the libraries, we also provide some partner webinars as well, just outside of this kind of content that we'll provide for free. So you watch out for those being advertised in the newsletters, maybe an email from Sujay along with all those details. So an example of some of them we've had this year: option to tax, spring budget, partial exemption, pension contributions, property tax updates, reporting expenses and benefits, input tax, furnished holiday lettings, to name a few. So there's lots of stuff we do to keep you up to date, give you your points as well. I'm just moving on. Tax data, just quickly worth pointing out, because Hardman's key data, if you've used Hardman's or Willens before in hard copy, again, this is just that basic rates and tables there. Again, that comes for free with the light package that you get. Moving on, part of the package that you pay for is basically a lot of the content down here. We'll come on to the difference between those. So quick overview and in-depth, that's detailed guidance and commentary, whether you want an overview or in-depth across all areas of tax. You have some transaction-based guides here in Navigate Tax, so a bit different to your normal commentary. It just gives you, as you can see here, the kind of transactions that we think will come across your desk, you know, whether it's, you know, buying an electric car, setting up a business, whatever it may be, you know, expenses and benefits, etc. It will just tell you everything you need to know around that, with some mind maps, visualizing everything you need to know, with some tools, calculators, checklists. So very plain English guidance, which is how we provide any type of, which is how we write all the type of commentary on our platform there as well. We have a bunch of tools here. Again, there's over 300, I think, in total. I lose count because we keep adding to them all the time. So again, checklists, calculators, and this is just really to save you time. It's just another way of resolving a situation. So you've got a calculator there. I'll pull up the one I saved earlier, so to speak. So taking on an employee calculator, which is just where you put in some figures, and then it will filter through to the result page at the end, just to save some time, make sure you get an accurate result. So there's over 100 of them in the platform in total, for different things, all VAT, company law, P11D, whatever it may be. We cover all those as well. Decision trees are just a piece of software that asks you questions about a scenario and come through to a conclusion at the end for you. So again, lots of different content in there depending on what you need, and the packages that we've got will pick and choose the bits of this that we think are relevant for you. Obviously, all the cases, legislation and manuals are there. We also provide guidance around UK GAAP, all the tools, checklists, model accounts, access to the standards, etc. as well, all covered. The sustainability is the new area that we've covered recently. It's laid out in a very similar way to the UK GAAP content, except for obviously it's covering sustainability. So all the guidance, standards, real life examples, tools and checklists, disclosure checklist, decision trees, comparison tools. You know, decision tree is there as, you know, what do I have to do to report for this particular client, and it will take you through a yes and no question answering, so you know what you need to do at the end, etc. as well. So it's all in there effectively, whatever it is that you need to use. So I think that's probably a good overview of the content in terms of what you might get from probably actually practice management stuff. So that covers kind of AML and has engagement letters there. We have a piece of software that takes 10 minutes to produce a bespoke engagement letter for you as well. So it's probably worth mentioning that. So that's just a little bit of an overview of the platform. Now, in terms of what you get for free, so there's 3 levels really. There's the light access, which is free. There's the new IAB package we've created, which is £90 a month. And then we have our standard, what we call sole practitioner packages, essentials and complete, which I think are the ones that the IAB members tend to take. So with the free stuff, what you get is all those webinars I mentioned in terms of the option to tax and everything. You get 1 webinar a month from the learning section, which is usually a roundup for tax. If there's something particularly pertinent there, like the spring budget or whatever, we've done something on that, we might give that away for free as well. And then you get the 2 emails that I mentioned before, the tax weekly and the audit and accounting weekly, come for free as part of your subscription. as well as the Hardman's rates and tables that you get within here. So that is completely free, as well as the helpline, sorry, to all IAB members. Again, fill in the registration link I'll post at the end, and we'll take you through that, set you up, and talk about that. Now, in terms of the new IAB package we've created, it includes all the free stuff, of course, but also some titles, some commentary in some key areas that IAB members have told us that they're interested in. Specifically, that is Peter Rainey's book on corporate tax, written in a practical way to interpret the legislation and what you need to do, covering all these areas here. So we were told company tax is obviously a big area. So just want that kind of guidance that spells it all out for you in an easy to digest way. We also have the practical VAT book that's written by Neil Warren. Used to be Denture, hence the Denture name on there for those who remember the Stan who used to write it, but Neil Warren now takes on board that. So again, all the guidance and commentary around here, these areas that we provide too. And also our P11D content, just double checking with everything here below. So where are we? Practical Payroll and Benefits, as we call it by Bradford's, very, very popular title of ours. Again, covering all these areas. So again, with this, we also have an income tax commentary and guidance as well that's taken from our in-depth and quick overview sections, so which cover all areas of tax. So those titles, if you were to buy them individually from us, which you were able to back in the day, would have cost about now, as we break it down in our system, just short of £3,000, whereas we offer it to the IAB members at £90 a month. So factoring in that new package, obviously all the free content that you get with the helpline, we think that's a pretty comprehensive package that will give you the basics of what you need for £90 a month. If you do want more, though, we have two packages that will encompass all of these tools, navigate tax, all the areas from in-depth and quick overview, the FRS content under here, as well as the sustainability content. I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, other than to say, come through to us. We'll take you through it, our team. It's not a pushy kind of process. We'll just say, look, here's all the free stuff. What do you like? We'll talk to you about the packages. If you want to understand a little bit more about the premium stuff and the pricing, we'll take you through that. If not, and it's just the free stuff you're interested in, we'll give you all the details. We'll set you up. We'll give you a bit more of an overview than I have now. It's up to half an hour on that onboarding call, as we call it. But that's the process that we'll go through once you've filled in those details as well. I guess the another thing to point out really with this, how long have I got left? I know you're going to give me a 5-minute warning, but I've kind of skimmed through it. I don't know if I've got.
You've got 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
I'm a minute off giving you my 15-minute warning. Yeah. Okay,
I've probably gone a little bit quicker than I initially planned to. But we've got the couple of things that I wanted to give away. The CPD tracker, that was the thing, the CPD tracker and the giveaways. So the stuff, whenever you watch any of the courses, you automatically get a certificate. Whenever you watch any of the webinars, the free ones that we'll advertise, you'll get a certificate to download. But when you're reading stuff on our site, it's up to you to track it yourself. So if you're in an article, let's just click on that.
Can I just interject, because I've had a couple of things in the chat that says.
Oh, sorry, you can't see those. Yeah,
the CPD for reading articles has recently dropped from 15 minutes to 2 to 4 minutes. Do you know anything about that?
The CPD for reading articles?
Yeah, apparently it's dropped from 15 minutes to 2 to 4 minutes, according to
the way that it works with us is depending on the number of words on a page, we assume how long it will take somebody to read it, but depending on the number of words on a page, and that's how we'll calculate the CPD tracker. So I don't know what's dropped there, but that's how we do stuff. I'll open this up to kind of answer that. So if we're looking at this article, but wherever you are on our site, you will see a clock like this, a blue clock. You click on it, it goes green, and then underneath your name top right here, it will store it in the CPD tracker. I've already loaded that up here. So as you can see, whatever you're reading here, it will tell you the number of time spent minutes on that particular page based on the number of words on there. So that's how we calculate things. So I don't know why that's dropped. I mean, if there's like an error or a specific example, I'd be happy to look into it for it and let you know. But that's what it looks like effectively. And then you just download that into an Excel file with the download button at the top here. And then that pulls through into a sheet like this. Just a very simple spreadsheet that just kind of gives you that detail on the spreadsheet, so you can send it off to show what you've done very easily. If you do forget to click on the clock, you can just go into your history And that brings back the last year's worth of history, and you can just go into those extracts there and just click on the clock next to them once you've done it. So that's just a little bit to show you. So whatever you've got, whatever you're reading, say wherever you are on the site, whether it's just the free stuff, that clock is available for everybody everywhere, and you can track everything in that regard. Hopefully that's the question. Was there another one as well, Caroline? A question around that you mentioned you want answering, or?
Yeah. Do we need to re-register if we were already using the portal?
So the old access was to Accountancy Daily and another couple of bits. What I'll do is I'll make sure that we drop out an email to everybody to let them know. To be fair, I didn't think about that. I prepared everything apart from the answer to that question. But what I'll do is, if we can get everybody automatically transferred across, we'll do that. Obviously, if anybody wants to go through the new IAB package, you can let us know off the back of that, or re-register, and we'll give you a call and take you through it. But hopefully, we can get you automatically set up. It shouldn't be a problem on our side, but we will let you know after this call. So the final thing, I'm guessing we've got 2 or 3 minutes left now. I came up with a couple of freebies from the premium service. One of them is a calculator, which we can give away. So again, if you register with us on the link, just when we give you a call, just say that our team will be aware of it. Phil mentioned the free calculator. Can you send it across to me? We'll just send you this in an Excel file just to use whenever you see fit. This is one that we showed you before. But there's also a taking on a new employee checklist as well that we've got here, we can give away for free. Again, I didn't pick these because I'm not the expert, so I relied on our head of content for this, something that they think is maybe relevant for IAB members. So apologies if this isn't from the mark. Maybe if we do this next time, we can get a little bit of feedback about what you'd like to see. But again, we're happy to give away these for free for anybody who registers when we give you a call. And so just let us know, and we'll send that across to you. But I think that's everything from me. So
I've got a couple of questions for you, Phil, if that's all right.
Okay. Yes, of course.
I've lost my chat now. 1 minute. Let me find it back. So Julia says, if a tax advice query requires more than 15 minutes, does Croner-i provide advice on a pay-as-you-go basis?
No. So look, if it goes a little bit over 15 minutes, we're not going to cut you off the phone. If we feel at the beginning of that call, once we get an overview of it, that it's going to be more complex, we do have a team of consultants who are part of what we call my VIP tax team, who can provide written advice or more guidance. Now, that is a separate product that we've got that you pay a monthly fee for, that I think starts off at around 100 quid a month, where you get an email service and calls up to 30 minutes. But that service also includes like at least a day's work of kind of written reports, if you will, that you can then recharge onto the client and put a markup on it if you so desire. So there is the option there, but it's not a kind of a pay as you go. It is a monthly subscription service that we offer.
Right. Who's this? Anita says, I pay for the CPD package with the tracker. So do I still pay for my subscription?
Yes, because the CPD package is 16 webinars per month. What we do is we provide one from that every month. The CPD track is included across all options. And then the other ones that I mentioned, like there was about 10 I mentioned, from option to tax to furnished holiday lettings, that's just stuff separate from the paid for platform, where we will just provide things for our partners that we think are relevant. It might be like a property update or whatever it may be. So that's separate from the paid for stuff that you get. But look, if you feel as though the free stuff that we do suffices for what you need, then just let us know, and we'll have a look at that, just in terms of reducing your subscription on a case-by-case basis. But yeah, I'd say any queries that you've got around that, feel free to drop me an email directly, and we'll let you know the differences between the two in a bit more detail.
Wendy says she's not receiving Accountancy Daily. I still receive that. Carol still receives that. So I'm guessing that's just an email.
Yeah, the Accountancy Daily should come through automatically.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, so I'd say what I can do is I can send, I don't know for what the GDPR rules around this. Obviously, for those who are on our system that have filled in a form, I can send the list to Sujay, and then if you're not on that list, we can cross-reference it, and that might be the reason why. But the easiest thing to do is probably just fill in the new form, and we'll make sure we'll get you set up with everything that I've gone through that's free. And then at least you'll be registered then. But we'll try and again sweep up anybody that is historically set up and get them on the new package as well.
Right, and that's everything. Thank you very much.
Yes, you'll still be able to receive Accountancy Daily for free. Yeah,
I read in the chat now.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was, but I found it. So everyone, I will post the link to register for is in there now, but I'm sure Suji will send it out afterwards. So just want to say thanks everyone for your time. Thanks for listening. Any questions, you just feel free to come to us after the date. We're always here to help.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Phil.
No worries. Cheers, everyone.
And moving swiftly on, we're going to our very own Kerry. Hey there, Kerry.
Hello, hi.
Hello. So our second speaker is our very own Kerry Whale, who will be joining us in the coffee morning, delving into the intricacies of payrolling benefits, discussing best practices and compliance strategies to ensure smooth operations. Kerry will also talk about the MTD roadmap, providing invaluable insights into the latest developments and their implications for business. Additionally, the session will cover recent VAT updates, highlighting key changes and how they impact your business and clients. This comprehensive approach will equip you with the knowledge to stay ahead in the ever-evolving financial landscape, ensuring your practices are up to date and compliant. And as always, Kerry, I'll be giving you a 15-minute warning. Good morning.
Hello, hi everyone, and thank you for having me on again. That did seem to, I know, it made me sound very professional. Thank you very much. It was lovely to see several of you in person last week, so well done to everyone that was up for an award. So yes, I've been invited to talk to you today about some of the sort of key updates around payrolling benefits, MTD, and some of the VAT changes. However, we're in a period where all consultations for all of these things have now been paused. All our HMRC consultations are in this process because of the imminent election. And I know Sarah was just going to come on and give you a little bit of update about why we can't talk about some of this stuff. But,
Sorry, Kerry. Yeah, no, it's just interesting. Obviously, we're in a period of purdah now, and while the government, we're waiting for a new government to come in. All I just wanted to flag was we are obviously involved in the MTD. It's a consultations at the moment. As this is an HMRC-driven policy, clearly a new government may have a different view on how this gets taken forward. We are thinking that there will be no changes with the new government, but obviously this is a conservative policy that's been developed, so there may be further changes as we go forward, but fingers crossed not. And the other thing, obviously, that if Labour do get in, they have committed to working through the summer, so hopefully we might be able to get things moving sooner than the autumn, but if not, it will be status quo and we shall be continuing with this consultation after the summer break. So just giving you some context to the background of the development of this area with the government. Anyway, back to you, Kerry.
thank you very much. So yeah, so I'm just going to recap because I come in March when all of the spring budget was announced. There was a lot of changes, and I remember coming onto that coffee morning with quite a lot of information and content, and there wasn't really any time for any discussion or chat to run through some of it. So I thought it'd be really good for you, and I know in the past it's worked really well for you as members to put things in the chat as I'm talking, so we can actually talk about what this might mean, if you've got any queries or concerns, just to have a bit more interaction around some of these things. I apologise, I've got the windows open and there's all kind of noise outside, so I apologise. Okay, so payrolling of benefits in kind. This is going to be mandatory from April 2026. A voluntary opt-in can take place, but you can only do so at the start of a tax year. So if you're not payrolling benefits already, your window has closed for the current tax year, and you will need to now wait till April 25. Now, one of the things that we've made very clear in the forums I attend is that we want agents to be able to do a lot of these things for clients. And up until recently, a client had to use their own HMRC gateway to be able to register for payrolling of benefits. Whereas I'm really pleased to announce that agents now can do that. So on our own agent dashboard, under our PAYE section, you find your client, and down in the expenses and benefits section where you would currently go to file your P11Ds, there is now a payrolling of benefits tab that you can click in. So at least for April 25, you as the agent can control that part of the process. So is anyone actually, maybe a show of hands, or if anyone's actually doing it at the moment, as to who's actually using payrolling of benefits on a voluntary basis at the moment? Just be interesting to see. if anyone actually is. Have a quick look if any hands go up or anything in the chat, but I'll come back to you.
There's nothing
No.
in the chat, but I'll keep an eye, Kerry.
Okay, perfect. Oh, look, Elaine.
Elaine's raised her
Hands
hand.
up. First one up. Okay. So there is, of course, a key deadline. So anyone with your payroll and benefits or doing P11Ds manually, is the online filing deadline is on the 6th of July. So we've got obviously that deadline coming up very, very soon. And then the payment for any of the Class 1A to be paid by the 22nd of July. So it's really important when a client is making that payment to make sure they're aware to add the reference at the end of 2413, so that allocates that money to last tax year's allocations. There's been a lot of problems, I know, within our own practice where clients are paying their PAYE using incorrect reference numbers, and it's very difficult to get hold of HMRC to get the allocations put right. So just to make sure that that they're fully aware of that. So has anyone got any questions or concerns about payrolling benefits that we can sort of touch on? So Nicola, your payrolling benefits for your staff and clients, so that's good. Not many people.
No, Elaine says if you're payrolling in 23-24, you're automatically enrolled for 24-25.
Yes, you don't have to re-register every tax year. Once you're in, then you're in. There is still discussion around whether, when it's mandatory, whether we still have to go into register the client for April 26. So I will let you know when we've got a little bit more guidance around that, because if it's mandatory, then we should assume that everyone is automatically to be registered. But obviously nearer the time, we'll have a lot more guidance about how that's going to work and how that's going to look. So yeah, but at least with payroll benefits, it's something we do in our practice here, is it just means that everyone's tax is in real time. So you're not having these suddenly all the P11Ds go in by July and then all the tax codes change from August and there's backdating, and at least this is in real time and you know exactly what your net pay is going to look like and what your tax code is. So, okay, well, look, we can always touch back on this at the end if you need to. Making tax digital ITSA. So as Sarah and I said at the beginning, the current consultations have been put on hold, so there's not a particular progress update. However, just to recap what it looks like is that from April 2026, anybody that completes tax returns and self-assessment has income over 50,000 so this would be property landlords or turnover from a sole trader business, will have to keep their records digitally through compatible software.
Kerry, can I just interject? Because I was part of the research group and got interviewed for this, and I was quite surprised because that 50,000 is a combined income.
Yes.
So if you're a sole trader with 40,000 and then property of 12,000, taking you to 52, you will be in that MTD.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people will be captured in this who perhaps haven't thought of themselves as being MTD it's mandated, because they do have different sources of income that all adds up. And they have to keep the records digitally. So it will, at the moment, we would get that spreadsheet or a bag of receipts or whatever it is in whichever format once a year. It might be that, you know, some of our clients, they are just literally annual customers that we only see when we're chasing to do their tax return. So what this will mean is that there will need to be quarterly updates. So very similar to how we would do a VAT return really for a client now, where you've got bank feeds, you're reconciling their transactions or inputting their income and outgoings through compatible software, and then you will be doing a quarterly submission. So, and the quarterly submissions have now been set to be the same as a VAT return, so it will be 1 month and 7 days after the quarterly end. because it's tax year related, everyone will be on the same quarterly update. So in April would be the start date of Q1, and April to June to be filed by the 7th of August, and so on and so on. Just touching some of the bits, I just thought it's turnover, Joe. 50k threshold is turnover, not profit.
Cheryl said, will the payee income be included in this turnover figure?
Not as far as I'm aware. No, that is not part of this. It is just income generated from a sole trader type activity, so income that's not currently taxed. So if you've got a sole trader client that is already VAT registered, you're not going to see a lot of difference with what you need to do, because if you reconciled their quarter for VAT purposes, it was really just another press of a button to submit their quarterly update from a tax perspective. I think the challenge is more around the clients that don't digitally record their data now, which HMRC has shown is, you know, a very fair proportion of this group, and that is why this has come in to ensure that clients are keeping their records on a more timely basis, and to give clients more of an idea about what their tax is going to look like in much more as the year unfolds. Okay. Sorry.
Can I just ask you a question? Natasha's put, if you've missed enrolling for BIK for this year, how do you calculate, or how do you inform HMRC about an employee is about to have a BIK to get their tax code changed? I don't really know anything about BIKs. Neither do I, Natasha.
Okay. So at the moment, if someone has suddenly started, say they've just got a car, for instance, now there is a form that you complete called a P46 to inform HMRC that a new car has happened. And if you go onto the HMRC, if you just Google HMRC benefit in kind calculator or car calculator, it will then ask you all the relevant questions for you to be able to calculate what that car benefit would look like from the day it arrived to the end of the tax year, for instance. And then there are actually some really good webinars at the moment. If you go onto HMRC and just Google benefit in kind webinars, I'm getting emails all the time, because you can register to have those update emails, and you can join a free webinar all about benefits in kind and how to submit P11Ds. So I think that would be a really good starting point for you to enrol yourself on. And yeah, if there's lots of information and guidance, there's even some YouTube videos that HMRC have put together.
Travis said, my understanding that arrangements will be made for taxpayers that are not digitally capable. Is that correct?
Yes, the digitally excluded clients. How that's going to look like is still under all the consultation phase. At the moment, most of the all the content that we're getting is all about how we can do it through software, because of the non-digitally capable clients are more of a minority, I suppose, in the overall scheme of what they're looking at here. So the more information will come out about that.
And then Sam says, where we are doing the bookkeeping and client wants his accountant to do the year end, will the bookkeeper and the accountant both be able to be agents for the client?
Yeah, so, well, this again is something that under consultation has been pushed, that you could have a bookkeeper doing the quarterly updates and therefore be registered through Government Gateway for this like linear approach as to who does what. So for instance, you might just look after someone's sole trader income that you're the bookkeeper for, but then an overall accountant will be responsible for the rest of their income sources. So therefore you would be doing the quarterly updates for the income source that you look after, and then an accountant would be registered to do the final year's submission and the actual tax return itself.
And I'm going to let you carry on now.
That's okay. Yeah, okay. So this, so ultimately you'll be looking at doing quarterly updates for a client digitally through a range of softwares that are being announced all of the time. And then a final tax return is still produced like you would now with the 31st of January deadline. But what that new tax return will look like is it will pull the data that you've been doing the quarterly updates into. It will then give you an opportunity to make any adjustments. So if there was anything that was incorrectly submitted, for instance, and it will also let you add then their PAYE income, any pension income, any of the other income sources to get the overall tax position. And if you're claiming any capital allowances and all of the usual final calcs that you would do at the end. I think as well, someone had put in the chat about the 40k PAYE income and 12k rental income. They wouldn't be an MTD for income tax because the 40,000 is PAYE, which is taxed already. It is purely untaxed income, like sole trader income, that needs to be that's included. Because otherwise, I think we'd be seeing a much higher proportion of clients.
Yeah, sorry, Jan, I answered that incorrectly.
It's all right. Yeah, CIS income will work the same. So you still would have to, if they're going to be earning 50k, for instance, turnover on CIS, they would fall into MTD ITSA in exactly the same way. It's just at the end of the year, just as you would now, you would then enter the amount of tax deductions that they've already had suffered for the overall how much tax they pay. But yes, the MTD ITSA will apply, and from April 27 it's in consultation that the turnover figure will drop to 30k instead of 50. So really, I think as bookkeepers, and certainly something now that needs to happen is just as we're starting to get all of the information together for our tax return clients this year, is just try to get them into that digital mindset, introduce digital services so that they're ready for when this change happens. Is anyone on here doing any of the beta testing phase at all for MTD ITSA? Because this year we have
But that's your 15-minute warning, Kerry.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, okay. That's fine. And then just a really quick then, a 5 minutes, because I think we're going to have to cover this topic in more, because I think this part is something that we need to cover off. But just a quick overview of that. The VAT threshold for registration is now 90k. So whether that's been the 12 months turnover, or if you expect your turnover to go over 90k in the next 30 days. To cancel that registration, your VAT tax turnover needs to fall below 88k. I'm fortunate to represent as well the IAB on a construction industry forum, and there's still a lot of confusion around when domestic reverse charge VAT is to be used. Now this was mandatory from the 1st of March 21. We've had it in place for 3 years now, but it's still not being processed correctly. So there's a lot of free webinars, just like with the benefit in kind, you can Google to enrol yourself in the webinar for agents and customers as well, to go on that. But quite simply, if a VAT registered business is invoicing a customer directly, normal VAT applies. But it's if, say for instance, you have an extension built, you will have a contract with the contractor that's building your extension. They will be invoicing you as a customer. But within that process, they may subcontract certain parts of that work to a plumber, a carpenter, someone doing the plastering. So if any of those subcontractors are in the VAT register, if they're already VAT registered, the invoice between the contractor and the subcontractor would fall into the domestic reverse charge VAT. So the overall customer doesn't see all of that side of things, but it just means that then the VAT is chargeable in both input and output VAT on both sides, so that there's no missed VAT going through any part of that chain. I know I haven't got a lot of time to go over this, but if anyone's got any queries, if you want to put anything in the chat, we can always cover these off. And if you want this as a topic within a future coffee morning, then I'm more than happy to come on, or we can get one of the HMRC colleagues when they're allowed to talk again about this stuff. Then we can maybe do a session on this if it's of interest.
I've got a few questions in the chat as well. Please can you please also give an update on the new accounting year end change of date regulation?
So, well, from a point of MTD, it's it's making sure that the year ends are either the 31st of March or the 5th of April. They're the only two year ends that you can utilise. Regarding the basis period changes, I haven't really got. We've only got a couple of minutes, so I think that needs a whole section on its own, if I'm honest.
I think we had a talk with we had a guest speaker a few months ago that went through it all.
Yeah, so it might be worth
Maybe
looking at
it's
a
not
previous
yeah.
coffee morning.
Would the CIS be based on the previous year's turnover to be captured?
So it's based initially on what you'd expect someone to be. So for someone to be invited to MTD ITSA, HMRC will base the evidence from their prior tax year to know if they're likely to fall into the mandation. But of course, that's very tricky to guesstimate. You don't know really what their turnover is going to be at the quarter one, really. So I think we need to come back to that on how, because there's going to be obviously a lot of legislation and a lot of guidance around this. So largely speaking, yes, it's going to be based on prior year turnover. However, if anyone isn't then MTD ITSA, because their previous turnover, say, was 25k, but in the year that this is mandatory, they go over 50k, there needs to be some kind of guidance about how that is dealt with, and I don't know that yet.
Yeah. Nikki says, as HMRC bringing our clients to a March end of year, does this mean that we will be required to submit quarterly returns for our clients for the sake? Yes, Nikki,
Yes.
It does. And I brought that up with HMRC with how difficult that may be. And it was suggested that I then did monthly, so that when the quarter finishes, you're ready to do the quarterly return.
Also,
So,
where's someone
I've
who
answered that.
mentioned sorry, yeah.
Go on.
But also, what was clear from a lot of the consultation groups that I'm on, there may be some clients that are actually quite on their business. You know, they are good. They do keep all their records themselves quite accurately, because you know we do see the clients that bring their tax returns up and it's like, wow, that's brilliant, they've done most of the work. Then you have the bag of receipt customers, but what this also means, as there's the approach where you can have two people responsible, the client can actually do their own quarterly submissions. It doesn't have to be you if they are already quite digitally advanced or they're quite happy to do that part of the process. Your responsibility at then the year end is to make sure that that is all accurate, that there's any changes, you would then do a final update within the tax return anyway. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you that does that, you just can oversee the work.
Yeah. There's quite a few saying, yeah, that would be a good idea, suggested topics. And then Marion says, if a client has sales over 50k in the first 6 weeks of trading, would he need to be registered for that? I would say yes. Kerry?
Sorry, I didn't see the question. When is that? Sorry.
Marion said, if a client has sales of over 50k in the first 6 weeks of trading, would he need to be registered for that?
It doesn't have to be registered at that 6 weeks of trading, but if that is the projection, as long as you've registered for that at the point that you believe that they're going to go over in 30 days time. So if it's as simple as that, it may be that they've got one invoice that they're going to send out for 50k in week 7, in which case, yes, you'd register at that point because you can predict the future sales.
What if a client gives expenses at the end of the year? They need to start doing it quarterly.
They have to give it the so you're doing quarterly submissions and you're signing them off as accurate as possible. However, there is originally it was going to be set quarters, so if there was any updates you had to do then an update of quarter 1, but now it's going to be cumulative, so a bit like the VAT with late claims, it's going to build the picture throughout the year. So we had a situation on one of the forums I was on where clients invoice throughout the year all of the contracts, but then they get a bill at the end of the year for the service or something. So therefore, quarter 1, 2 and 3 may only have sales income and quarter 4 has all the costs in it. That's fine, apparently.
Okay, I feel like we need to wrap up and move over to Sam for a
Yeah, sorry. I filled my time today, as
Sorry,
always.
Kerry, I should have stopped you earlier. Sorry, sir.
No, that's all right. I just wanted
I just like
Sam wanted
talking
to hear
to
about the
Kerry.
awards.
No, it's a hot topic, and we are very, very aware of it. We're actually had a meeting with HMRC yesterday, and Sarah's pretty much already outlined what the situation is. It's rather frustrating, but we're taking a note of all those questions, and we'll ensure we can get answers and content to you out on this topic as quickly as we can. And obviously, Kerry is there as a beacon of knowledge. Yeah, just in the last few minutes, we just want to do a bit of a summary of the awards, which is, well, it's a week ago tomorrow. It's mad how a week goes, but it was an absolutely great afternoon. So it was great to have those people there that could join us, and congratulations to the finalists and the winners, all very well deserving. It was great for you to get your moment of recognition. In terms of everybody else having a look at what went on, the photographs should arrive in my possession today. So we'll be working to get those on the website and across social media. So do keep a lookout. And also we managed to do quick interviews with all of the winners as well. So we'll have those going out across social media, and we'll be in touch with each of the winners. So you will have your own interview, which you can share across your own social channels as well. So do keep a lookout for more communication on that. But it was a great day, and thank you for those that were able to take part with us.
Yeah, no, it was a fabulous event. So thank you everyone who attended, and also just reaching out and say thank you to everyone who made a submission for the awards. It really is a really special time for me as well. So reading through all the applications, it's so interesting to see how people structure their businesses, how they deal with problems. And I think what really comes across is how someone's personality is stamped all over their business as well. So it's just so incredible and very humbling to be able to give have an insight into people's worlds. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for everyone who's made a submission. Please carry on engaging. But it also helps us shape our content going forward too, and hopefully our support can be tailored to your needs. But yeah, no, well done to all our finalists, well done to our winners. It was a really great day, and we were very blessed with the weather as well. So
Was it nice weather, was it? I'm sorry I missed it, but yeah.
Oh no, of course you're there. Yeah, no, we were very, very lucky, and we also had a really lovely evening as well. So we have the main focus of the day event is the UK, but then we have an international dinner in the evening as well. So that was that was well attended too. So yeah, no, it was a really good day, and I'm glad. It's just great to be able to share those moments.
Yeah, well, as I say, we'll be showing photographs. It's always good to look through the photographs. You get
I know, yeah.
like when you used to get holiday snaps back in the day when they weren't just instant.
I unfortunately went on holiday and had one day where it didn't rain.
Yeah.
I'm with the photographer, they always like capture someone just about to put a canapé in their mouth, which is normally me.
Yeah. We'll get that one up.
So no, all good.
Get it on the front of the next magazine.
Yeah.
Somebody eating.
Front page.
Yeah.
No mercy given here. So excellent. All right, I think that's probably it, unless anyone's got anything else to add. Is that?
No, just lots of love for the coffee morning. Great
Yeah.
coffee morning, excellent coffee
Well,
morning.
so
I think it's been really good this morning, really informative and really helpful, hopefully.
Yeah. Thank you to both our speakers. So
Yes, thank you.
More Croner-i information coming out as well, everybody. So do keep your eyes peeled. It was great to get that clarification from Phil, but I think we'll kind of follow up with what he said in written form as well, from an email perspective, newsletter, social as well. So and everything is on if you log in as a member, on the IAB website and go through to the business member benefits, the new landing page from Croner-i is on there, which details exactly what you get for free and what that additional package is as well. So it's worth a look, definitely.
All right, brilliant. So the next coffee morning for dates for your diary is the 17th of July.
wow, July already. Yeah, okay.
Halfway through the year. Just think, in 6 months it's Boxing Day. How scary is that?
Okay, we can delete that part off the recording.
Edit the recording.
Edit the recording. Right, and on that, I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay, thank you. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.